I'm going to take you through exactly what I eat for breakfast, lunch and dinner, as well as any snacks I have throughout the day. I am planning to make this delicious beef bourguignon for dinner, so please stay tuned for that. It's the first time I've ever made the recipe, but I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you are new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click the bell notification if you want to be notified every time I post a new video, which at the moment is every Wednesday and Sunday. So with all that said, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you on the other side. So like every other morning, I'm starting off my day with some coffee. Here I have the Moccona hazelnut coffee, which if you've watched my previous videos, you know it is my favorite. And I am just having it with some hot water and some Oatly oat milk, which again is my favorite type of plant milk. It's honestly so good in the morning. I just love it. And then this morning, as you can probably guess, again, if you watched my previous videos, I am having porridge. I have this pretty much every day. If I don't have porridge, I might have pancakes or something like that, but that also has oats in it. So yeah, basically it's oats every morning for me because it just digests so well and I just love them. So anyway, here I'm making them on the stove. So I've just used half a cup of quick oats and I have put in about half of a banana sliced up. I just like adding in a banana because it adds a natural sweetness to the porridge, which I love. And yeah, so today I am making it on the stove. If you watched my previous videos, I mentioned that I usually use the microwave, but I have been starting to use the stove more since I did my last video, which was the what I eat in a day as my childhood self. I'll link it up the top here and in the description box below. But yeah, in that video, I made my oats on the stove and it made me remember how yum it is when you make it on the stove. So I've been doing that recently. Anyway, I just added in some extra water because it was getting a bit thick and gluggy. Then I've added in some vanilla extract and given that a good stir through. And I mean, just look at that bubble. Oh, it's my favorite part of cooking oats, just so satisfying. Anyway, we're just adding in some raspberries here. You can add in any type of berries you want, but today I went for raspberries, and I just like to heat them up slightly so they're not completely frozen when I eat the porridge. So I just kind of stirred them through, and it's really fun when you stir through the raspberries because it actually turns the porridge completely pink, which is fun, you know. So we did that. And now I'm just topping off my porridge with a teaspoon of hemp seeds to get some omega-3s in there, as well as some hazelnut butter. So guys, if you haven't tried out this brand of nut butter, I highly recommend it. It was on sale the other day at Woolies, so I bought heaps of it. And this hazelnut one is actually life-changing. It tastes like Nutella, but without the chocolate aspect of Nutella. Like it's just so creamy and hazelnutty and delicious. So I would recommend trying this nut butter out. And that is all for my breakfast this morning. Honestly, this was so delicious, so satisfying and filling, and I just love it. So I highly recommend giving it a go. All right, so now it is a couple of hours later, around 10:30, I think. And I was feeling a bit peckish, so I had another coffee. Here I'm having the caramel Moccona coffee. You can see a theme here. We really like the Moccona instant coffee. Anyway, I just made that again with oat milk. And then I also had one of my delicious homemade protein bars. These are so good. I will link the recipe down below. I made it in a previous video where I made some different protein powder recipes, so I highly recommend checking that out. It's honestly so good and so satisfying when you need a healthy snack. I just love it so much. Anyway, I was just doing some studying here. I'm actually studying a certificate in fitness at the moment, so I was just finishing off some of my online assessments. I'm almost done, which is really exciting. So this whole day I basically spent finishing off all those assessments, so I just ate that while I was studying. And now onto lunch. So for lunch today, I wanted to be completely transparent and realistic with you guys. I did not make my lunch today. I had leftovers from the previous night. So the night before, I had this delicious ginger tofu stir fry. It's really so easy to make. The sauce is literally just soy sauce with some maple syrup and grated ginger. That's all it is. And I just cooked that with the different veggies and the tofu in a pan and made some rice. As you can see here, I'm reheating it on the stove, and I just added in a little bit of extra soy sauce to give it some extra flavor in the reheating process and to add some extra moisture. Then, because I was so hungry waiting for my stir fry to be ready, I decided to have these leftover lentils that I had sitting in the fridge. I just opened a can the previous day. So literally all I did was put in some balsamic glaze and it just made it taste so yummy. And here is the final product for my ginger stir fry. If you want the recipe, I will put the full ingredients list in the description box below so you can check that out. Now onto my afternoon snack. I decided to have a blueberry protein shake, and all this had in it was some frozen blueberries, half of a frozen banana, some water, protein powder, cinnamon, vanilla extract, and then I also did add in a bit of almond milk later because I blended it once and realized it was a bit too, it wasn't like it was watery, but I just think it needed a bit more creaminess to it. So that's why I just added in some almond milk here. I'm using the Bonsoy brand of almond milk. It's really good if you haven't tried that one yet. And I just gave that another whiz, and then it was all done. I decided to top it with a little bit of desiccated coconut just to add a bit of extra flavor. I reckon this would taste so good made with coconut milk or coconut water as well, so maybe try that out if you're interested. And that was it for my afternoon snack. Now for the recipe you've all been waiting for, here is the delicious beef bourguignon. So we start off by peeling and chopping all of our veggies. Here I have 4 potatoes that we are using for the mash, and you just want to peel that all and chop it up finely. The smaller you chop it up, the quicker it will cook. So basically, just depending on how long you want to be waiting for your potatoes, chop it up accordingly. My potatoes actually took quite a while to cook, so I would actually recommend chopping it even smaller than this if you want them to cook pretty fast. I would also recommend actually boiling your water first because I didn't do that, so that's I think why mine took longer. So you want to actually have a pot of boiling water and then add the potatoes into that, and that will make it cook a lot faster. Here is just a little look at all the ingredients you will need for this recipe. If you want the full ingredients list, check out the description box below. I have them all listed out for you there. So first off, to make the beef bourguignon, we are just starting with a little bit of garlic olive oil and then going in with 1 brown onion, half of a leek, and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. You want to saute that down until it is nice and translucent and smelling delicious before we add in some beef style stock. So this is the Messel brand beef style stock. It definitely does not actually have beef in it. It's just flavoring that kind of mimics the flavor of beef, and it just adds a really good flavor into this dish. And then I'm going in with some chopped up carrots and mushroom, and you want to give that all a good stir. Here I'm adding in some smoked paprika, some dried thyme, as well as some salt and pepper. Then we're going in with 2/3 of a cup of frozen peas. You could use fresh peas as well here if you have them. So now onto the main attraction of this dish. I am using the Fable Food plant-based braised beef. So this is actually made with 62% shiitake mushrooms. So unlike a lot of processed plant-based meats, this is actually mostly whole food, which is really amazing. It's also GMO free, and it has 11.3 grams of protein per serve. So it's not as high in protein as some other plant-based meats, but it is 62% mushrooms, so that is why. So once you've added the plant-based meat into the pan, you also need 1/3 of a cup of red wine. If you don't have red wine, you could just use an extra 1/3 of a cup of the stock. However, it does give a really nice richness to it, and the alcohol does evaporate from the dish when it's cooked, so you're not going to get drunk off it or anything. And then we are just going in with some spices. So I've used some smoked paprika as well as some salt and pepper. So the little milky bowl that you saw me put in just earlier was actually some cornstarch mixed with some plant milk, and this just helps to thicken the sauce of the beef bourguignon so that you have a nice thick and creamy sauce. Now back to our potatoes, which should be all cooked by now. You just want to strain them and put them back into your pot. Then we're adding in 1 tablespoon of butter as well as 1/4 of a cup of plant milk. I actually doubled this after I mashed it all and tried it, so I have the full ingredients list in the description box below, as I mentioned earlier, if you are wanting to try out this recipe. I also added in some salt and pepper for flavor, and then you just want to make sure that you really get a good mash on it. I love mashing potato. Honestly, it's actually so satisfying watching the potato go through the masher. Anyway, that is all done now, and I've just served it with a little bit of cracked pepper on top. And oh my gosh guys, this was seriously so satisfying and tasty and hearty, and I would really recommend giving this one a go. Alright, so it is now a few hours later and I was craving something sweet and just something to have after dinner. So I made a decaf coffee, again with the Oatly oat milk, which is my favorite oat milk. And then I'm making here something that I actually make so often. I've never shared it on YouTube before. So now you have an insight into what I actually often have for dessert. And this is just cocoa powder mixed with maple syrup. And I add a little bit of water just to get the right consistency. And it's basically like a homemade chocolate, and I love making it when I don't have any chocolate at home or any kind of like desserty snacks. Also, it's just, you know, it's minimal ingredients, so you know exactly what is in the chocolate. And honestly, it goes to this like moussey texture, which I love, and it's really dark and thick, and I just like, it's so good. So I highly recommend trying it out. I'll put the exact measurements in the description box below for you to try out. So there it is, that is my complete what I eat in a day video for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what was your favorite recipe from this video. Personally, my favorite was definitely the beef bourguignon, because I haven't had a beef bourguignon in like 5 years, so it was really cool to be able to make that, and it tasted delicious. And yeah, it was just something new and interesting, so I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try out some of these recipes. Please let me know and tag me at SASKA on Instagram if you do try out any of these recipes. I would love to see your creations. And with all that said, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you are safe and well, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye!